your host, Soulless, joined by his special guest tonight, Denise Groff. As always, the incomparable DJ Meow Mix on the ones and twos. I hope you're driving, so you can buckle up, buckaroos. We are about to enter the Tommy Westphall Universe.
What if I told you the universe your favorite TV shows exist in, all are connected? What could possibly tie together All in the Family, Arrested Development, Alf, Community, The Addams Family, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Doctor Who, Buffy, and The X-Files? No, it's not that Disney has bought the rights to them and refuses to pay royalties, though that list may be just as long. So how did a fan theory about a show with only a mere 6 seasons manage to conflate approximately 420 TV shows into one continuous landscape? It's the big daddy of all fan theories. And I'm joined today by Mama Samurai, a.k.a. Denise, a.k.a. my mama, to break it down. How are you doing, Mom?
Pretty good, thanks.
Ready to get into some wild theories?
Yes.
DJ Meow Mix. Give us a cinematic score. So, how did this hypothesis come about and where did it come from? And I'll turn to my guest host today, Mama Samurai.
Hello. Comic writer Dwayne McDuffie used this chart for a blog entry for slush.com in 2002 article called The Grand Unification Theory, or 6 Degrees of St. Elsewhere. Everyone and everything is just a daydream.
It's kind of a haunting idea.
Yes. According to Bojack Hex on YouTube...
Great name.
Yeah. Dwayne McDuffie was a co-producer on the kids' show Static Shock. Batman and the Joker appeared on the show in 2002. He used the St. Elsewhere finale as an example to explain the confusion about the continuity in the DC Comics and how characters can cross over. Static Shock was property of Milestone Comics, which took place in the Dakota Universe. DC had some rights to Milestone, which existed outside the DC Universe. He urged everyone to just enjoy and not think about it too much. Using the Grand Unification Theory, the last 5 minutes of St. Elsewhere finale is the only TV show ever made. Rules of his theory. Number 1, no animated shows. Number 2, no cinematic universes.
You can see both of them being problematic.
Yeah, definitely. Number 3, the factors that cause a crossover must be fictional. For example, guns in 2 different shows is not a connection, but if the gun manufacturer is the same, it counts. Number 4, events that lead to crossovers must actually happen. No dream crossovers.
There is so much out there in this realm that I don't really pay attention to them. While fun, they often involve leaving reality and facts behind to explore a theory, and that seems like a slippery slope to me. Just too tough to follow. But I think my favorite theory is that Calvin and Hobbes is a prequel to Fight Club.
Oh, wow.
It's well presented and easy to get swept up in. If you're not familiar with that one, check it out.
You definitely will.
So, what was St. Elsewhere? I vaguely remember it on TV when I was young, and I think I place it as a forerunner to ER. And they kind of blur together for me. According to Wikipedia, quote, St. Elsewhere is an American medical drama television series created by Joshua Brand and John Falsey that originally ran on NBC from October 26, 1982 to May 25, 1988. The series stars Ed Flanders, Norman Lloyd, and William Daniels as teaching doctors at an aging, rundown Boston hospital who give interns a promising future in making critical medical and life decisions. The series was produced by MTM Enterprises, which had success with a similar NBC series, the police drama Hill Street Blues, during that time. The series were often compared to each other for their use of ensemble cast and overlapping serialized storylines. An original ad for St. Elsewhere quoted a critic that called the series, quote, Hill Street Blues in a hospital, end quote. Recognized for its gritty, realistic drama, St. Elsewhere gained a small yet loyal following. The series never ranked higher than 47th place in the yearly Nielsen ratings over its 6-season, 137-episode run. However, the series also found a strong audience in Nielsen's 18 to 49 age demographic, a young demo later known for a young, affluent audience that TV advertisers were eager to reach. The series also earned critical acclaim during its run, earning 13 Emmy Awards for its writing, acting, and directing. St. Elsewhere was ranked number 20 on TV Guide's 2002 list of, quote, the 50 greatest TV shows of all time, with the magazine also selecting it as the best drama series of the 1980s in a 1993 issue. In 2013, TV Guide ranked the series number 51 on its list of the 60 best series of all time. I like how the finish line moves.
Yeah.
There. I left that last little bit in from Wikipedia just to show how influential this TV series was, just on that base level, with its awards and critical acclaim and whatnot. But we're about to see this could possibly be either all of TV or the most influential show in TV history. So what else do we know about St. Elsewhere? St. Elsewhere was a nickname that they used to describe the hospital, right? And it's really St. Eligius. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it, yeah.
Okay. The series finale aired on May 25th, 1988. And the finale ends with an autistic child, Tommy Westphall, staring into a snow globe with a model of the hospital inside. Tommy was the son of Dr. Donald Westphall, director of the hospital. Quote, I expect a very mixed reaction, Bruce Paltrow, one of the show's executive producers, told the Chicago Tribune in 1988. I think some people will think it's extraordinary and existential and quintessential St. Elsewhere. I think other people will find it puzzling, odd, maybe unfulfilling in some way. End quote. More than puzzling, some people found it to be an actual puzzle. If the universe of St. Elsewhere was a figment of Tommy Westphall's elaborate imagination, then won't other television characters who appeared in the show's continuity exist only within Tommy's mind as well? The doctors had visited the bar on Cheers in one St. Elsewhere episode. Cheers spawned Frasier. A character who appears on Wings, John Munch, the detective from Homicide, had mingled with the St. Eligius crew, and he has appeared on shows ranging from The X-Files to The Wire, effectively making him the patient zero of what's become known as the Tommy Westphall Universe theory. As of this writing, 441 shows can be tied to St. Elsewhere with varying degrees of separation, ranging from I Love Lucy to The Flash. If the theory holds, then a large chunk of television is the direct result of one child's formidable imagination. A couple things of note: Bruce Paltrow is the father of Gwyneth Paltrow and screenwriter Jake Paltrow, which ties together a lot of Hollywood in real life behind the scenes. So I think that makes sense realistically. Yeah. That scans. It may also explain why Gwyneth Paltrow lives in a fantasy world and makes exploding vagina candles.
Oh, that's hysterical.
So here we'll get into the major throughways of the universe. Obviously, the shows are a big thing, and we already mentioned that St. Elsewhere and Hill Street Blues recorded and aired around the same time and had crossover episodes. One major throughway, I believe, is St. Elsewhere to Homicide. I think that was really what McDuffie used to tie everything together, right?
Right.
You also have St. Elsewhere to Cheers, and Cheers was such an iconic show. I can only imagine how many people came and went through that universe.
Right.
So, the doctors...
Yeah, Alex Trebek was on there.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, is he real or not?
Oh, jeez. Mind blown. St. Elsewhere, to cheers. The doctors of St. Elsewhere had drinks at the bar. So that ties that universe together. And we also have a link between Homicide and the X-Files. So with cast and crew, I mentioned Bruce Paltrow. Was there somebody else?
Tom Fontana was a producer of St. Elsewhere and Oz. He was one of the producers of St. Elsewhere.
Okay. Bruce Paltrow is the one that stuck out to me, and you had taken note of Tommy Fontana. I feel like there's probably a lot of production crew.
Yeah.
Even if you get down to like grips and electricians and best boys. I don't know what they do, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I always wondered that. I want that title.
Is it? I just kind of hope it's this handsome dog that just sits and somebody's like, good boy.
Yeah. I think this was also the start of all the gritty TV shows.
Oh, okay.
You know, like Hill Street Blues, and then I went to NYPD Blue, which was like really gritty and ER, very immersive. You get sucked into their world
and served demographics maybe in like law enforcement and healthcare that weren't portrayed in TV before, especially with that reality.
Yeah.
Because
although your dad, who was a policeman, hated Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
No, he liked Hill Street Blues. He hated NYPD Blue.
Yeah, it seemed really over dramatized.
Yeah.
I could see you going either way with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times I think, because if you're a writer in Hollywood, you probably haven't been a cop, so it's probably really hard to put yourself in their shoes and give a good depiction of what they go through.
They were supposed to have cops on set, but, New York City's a lot different than our tiny little towns, too.
Very true. Very true. So I'm sure that there's a lot of cast and crew out there tied together. Like I said, Bruce Paltrow, his son Jake Paltrow, writes for TV now. One can wonder how much of this is purposeful or good story writing. I love shows like Arrested Development that have running gags, Easter eggs, develop plot lines, and have cool little things that you can see. Or Stephen King, one of our favorites, who creates a universe, and these things are purposeful and it's somebody with really creative mind. Or is it just an act of laziness or almost like this ancestral pool that exists in Hollywood that's always drawn from? So I guess a good example of this now would be the characters that are rehashed. So Dr. Roxanne Turner from St. Elsewhere reprised the role in Homicide. And that's what McDuffie used to tie all of TV together. It's Dr. Roxanne Turner.
Oh, I thought it was Munch, the patient zero.
Only because of Roxanne Turner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because he was interviewing her.
And he's in Homicide, right? And then from Homicide, you have the X-Files, you have all those other things. But she ties everything to St. Elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
I think Frasier is probably another big one. Because he had his own eponymous show. So one great example of how this theory works would be using Elliot Carlin from Newhart. Elliot Carlin was in an episode called Close Encounters of the Bob Newhart Show, where he visits the psych ward in St. Elsewhere. Laryl, Daryl, and Daryl squat in Coach Hyden's cabin. Coach and Drew Carey, as well as Ellen and Grace Under Fire, end up in Vegas together in a crossover block. Mimi appears on The Hewleys. D.L. Hewley and Nikki Parker from The Parkers cross over into each other's shows. The Parkers is a spin-off of Moesha, which has characters that go to the prom in Clueless, whose main character, Cher, was visited by Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Wow.
Whew, yeah. I feel like I need a Pepe Silva map connecting all these dots. So, yeah, you found some businesses and locations.
Yes, Hudson University